the reason why the prosecution is pushing for that third-degree murder charge and a third charge is because the more charges you have, the more options and chances of getting a conviction they will get from the jury. So that is one of the reasons. The other reason is that the third-degree murder charge is basically halfway between the second-degree murder and the second-degree manslaughter, and it is also easier to prove in front of a jury than the second-degree murder charge. So if that third-degree murder is reinstated, that could be good for the prosecution. But at the same time, the defense has said that it would likely appeal that in front of the Supreme Court of Minnesota, saying that it should not apply to this case. And that means that if they do get a conviction for Derek Chauvin on that third-degree murder charge, that there could be an appeal and that this whole process could have to be started over again.
Gosh, already that leading to some delays on the opening day of trial at Kethevane, but it wasn't a day wasted. Tell us a bit more about what we learned and where we expect things to go from here.
Yes, because the judge said that he wanted to use that day to go forward with some of the motions, the preliminary motions from both sides. And basically, they went through that this Monday, and they decided on things that can and can't be done during the trial. Most notably, they decided, for example, not to use the words accused and the words victim, and instead refer to the names of Derek Chauvin and George Floyd. The other thing that the two sides agreed on is to already rule out 16 prospective jurors for cause. So they simply ruled them out based on that 16-page questionnaire that all prospective jurors had to fill out, that had plenty of questions as to their feelings towards law enforcement, their feelings towards Black Lives Matter, and more specific questions like how many times they had seen the video of George Floyd and Derek Chauvin's encounter, or if they had taken part in any of the racial justice protests, what types of signs they were carrying if they did take part in those protests. So those are the things that were decided today. Now the judge says that unless the Court of Appeals says otherwise, he will go along and proceed forward the way he was supposed to. So this Tuesday, we are expecting to see the start of the actual jury selection. That means these jurors, these prospective jurors, will start to be interviewed more specifically, ask questions from the prosecution, from the defense, both sides trying to weed out any jurors that they see as having a bias against their side. So you're likely to see the defense trying to find people who are a little bit more sympathetic towards law enforcement, while the prosecution will likely try to find people who care about racial justice. That said, they cannot go for any direct discrimination on race or gender. So the defense, for example, won't be able to simply strike at someone because they are a black man, for example. That will lead to finally picking those 12 jurors and 4 alternates. This process likely to last about 3 weeks. So we still have a lot of time until we have those final jurors.